Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot, and a Happy New Year to you all. Rather belated because it is, what, the 4th as I record this, but nevertheless, Happy New Year. I'm continuing my solstice readings that I started before Christmas, and then other than my New Year's Eve live stream where I did perform readings for each sign for the new year, for 2021, I didn't get to do a lot of recording at all over Christmas and New Year, but I really like this spread, so I wanted to continue doing complete doing these solstice year readings. So general reading rules apply. You know, roles can get reversed if someone else turns up here, and there might be somebody else turning up here in this reading for you, Cancer, having a look at it. It might be you, it might be how you work with another person. So yeah, little taster there. But anyway, timing's far from absolute. Now, this is basically a look at the whole year up until the next winter solstice. The previous solstice was the Jupiter Saturn Conjunction with a phenomenal lunar eclipse and solar eclipse right before it. Now, all the shows about the solar and lunar eclipses preceding the conjunction there's links down in the description down below, plus me discussing with astrologer David Fischer about the conjunction, and that, yeah, you want to watch 2020 season finale. You do want to watch it. Links down below again. But the conjunction setting like the tone for the next 20 years and the next 200 years, and some could argue the next 800 years. So I wanted to look at something that's a bit more useful for a general reading for YouTube, hence this solstice year reading. Now, obviously, there's also a link down there to the Facebook page for this channel. I share these videos, I share the astrology videos I watch, or at least I will, after I finish here, and there's a load of astrology videos that I've watched that I need to share onto the page. But they, you know, all the like weather report type videos and stuff. But also, it's got its own inbox, so if you're wanting to approach me for a personal reading, that's the best place to do it. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Tumblr. There's a link tree thing down there that will take you to my email or to whatever. And then finally, if the reading means anything to you, please do comment, let me know, even if it's just, yes, I've heard you, because it's really nice to know that these readings get to their home, you know, for whoever it is that needs to hear it. So Cancer, after that's enough waffle, let me turn straight to the cards. Now, the one thing that really jumped out to me here is the amount of kings that you have. We have, along the central row, King of Pentacles, King of Cups, King of Swords. The only one missing being the King of Wands, who is the clarification card at the very top of the reading, the crown of the reading here. So there is certainly an element of you coming into your power in a way that has the resources, that has the foundation, that has the information, that has the dream, has the practical support that you need to surge ahead. And the general tone of the reading is nice. We have from the Angel of the Tarot, Tarot of the Angels, sorry, Angel of the Tarot, Tarot of the Angels deck, we have El Paraíso, or Paradise, which is indicating a smoothish, easy ride. And it's almost like, yeah, I don't want to say it's that smooth a ride, because there's a lot of growth going on here. That you are maturing into these roles of these 3-4 kings. So all 4 kings you have here. But there's also the element of somebody that you can rely upon. If you are waiting for your king to arrive into your life, this might be an ideal year for that to occur. However, I rather feel that will only occur if you are becoming a king in your own life, that you are taking charge. So the center, the dream. Now with Gemini we have the Queen of Cups right in the as the central card. Here, Cancer, you've got the King of Cups. You have emotional resolution. You have, I mean, I'm really getting a well, I want to say a Jupiter vibe, as in the god, not the planet. Now normally I would say Zeus, but I want to specifically say the god Jupiter here. Because this is probably from my own bias, but I've always felt that Zeus was maybe that little bit more than Jupiter, which is not fair at all. But it's because of the cultural shifts between the Greek and the Roman. But I want to say the Jupiter as in the confidence, the being able to take this cup of dreams out into the world. Two eagles here at the base, the eagle being a symbol of Jupiter. Which again, why I said Jupiter, not Zeus. Now this is clarified by a Five of Swords card, where the first thing I looked at when I looked at this particular Five of Swords card is that the three ninja type people that are there reminded me of Robin. Yes, the boy, not the bird. Or three Robins. So, you know, you've got Damian Wayne, Tim Drake and Jason Todd all there, for example. But one of them is bored. One of them has like put his sword down and is wandering off while the other two are fighting. And that's almost like the feeling that I'm getting from here is like, okay, you carry on your fight. It's a useful fight. You will learn loads from having this fight. Yeah, I'm not interested. You carry on with it. Not my thing. I'm not interested. I'm moving on here. And that's what I really get from this. Even though I think you find observing this fight between two others, the event of it is actually quite inspiring. Not necessarily, probably inspiring in a negative way. You are inspired by seeing this fight to try and make sure that this fight does not need to happen again. That's where the inspiration bit is coming from. And with there's you going into a very, I don't want to say cutting role or defined role, taking precise action to surge forward with what you're cutting things away, but it's not like cutting them away to get rid of. It's just there's a connection there we don't need, gone. Because we need to stay laser focused on this right here, and that's what I'm working on. And you either, if our two boats are tied together, if you want to stick with me, it's not through us being tied together, it's because you do the work, you helm, and you steer, and you row, and you catch the wind the right way, and you make sure that your boat is remaining parallel to mine, because I'm going to go ahead and do this thing. Because there's some form of opportunity here with the King of Pentacles. There's some form of opportunity, because it's clarified here by the world, that comes your way, where it's not like you need to be given any direction. You have that direction here. And I do feel that life is going to... That's it. Looking back on 2021, you're going to see that the year was actually a lot easier than what it feels like going through it. Because there's certainly a burden that you will be taking up towards the start of the year that will lead you into this place of growing authority. And there's something that you are putting to rest here. We've got the Justice card with the Three of Swords here right on the bottom. There is some pain that you are sorting out, some hurt that you are putting to rest, but that's because there is an immense change. We've got death clarified by the Wheel of Fortune underlying the start of the year. There is a big change happening, and I feel that this change is very much in your favour. Wheel of Fortune, World, King of Pentacles, very much in your favour when you recognise how to use it in your favour, when you are taking that authority that this is promising, because there is a victory coming for you here, Six of Wands, of you moving to a better place, but things are going to be fast and you are going to need your strength. Oh, and here's another king on the bottom of the deck, King of Pentacles, followed immediately by the Ten of Cups, better than wish fulfillment. There's something is sorting itself out here. Something is getting healed. Something is getting, some past wrong is getting put right. Some pain is being sorted out so that it doesn't have to bother you anymore because the situation has resolved. But Six of Swords, Six of Wands, a better place with victory. So there's some challenge here that you are facing. Now, if you are taking these kings as the influence of someone else coming in, as I feel like this King of Wands at the top, that does feel like another influence coming into your life, and coming into your life fast, but they are capable. And they are either supporting you or they are there as an example to you, where, because you're there going, well, hey, if they can do that, so can I. And that makes sense of this Oracle card. Now, from the Sufi Wisdom Oracle, I've drawn beyond the ego, surrender to the flow of life. And I think that sense of surrender is something that you need to take on board to successfully negotiate this year. But it's not surrender as in sitting back and doing nothing. It's when the world is pushing you, oh, you go this way now, you go that way now, you do this now, you tackle that challenge now. That's the surrender. You go, okay, and then you go on and do it. Because this is a year of surging forward with various burdens. But right here at the end, Temperance, Eight of Cups, Judgment. This Eight of Cups is telling me that by the end of the year, there's something that you will have put to one side because it no longer serves any balance within your life. And there is transformation here with this Judgment card. However, the Judgment card, as I was reading the other day, is transformation not that just occurs, it's something that you work for. It's something that you have been working your way towards. There's a real sense of deep healing here with this Three of Swords and Justice card. And whereas sometimes I can say I see the Trinity in the Three of Swords, or obviously the heartache and the pain, I see a heart that is absorbing three swords and doesn't care in a good way. It is absorbing those three swords and it is not touched by them. It is like, yep, I can take them and that's fine. Because these swords have been hurts that have helped get you to where you are, that helped shape you to where they are. And if anything, some of these pains, like I say, which are getting sorted, have helped reveal hidden aspects to your nature that you hadn't, that wouldn't necessarily have come out beforehand. And you are all the more richer and all the more capable and all the more all the more shining because these pains have revealed these certain parts of you. There is a danger. There's one danger warned here, because from the Damon Tarot, we have Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies. And basically this card warns against listening to gossip and eavesdropping. Because I feel like you might be hearing something out of context. And this is why the God Force that's supposed to be active here, we've got the Trojan horse, trickery. And there's multiple layers that I'm seeing with this. Certainly there may be a few times where you need to trick yourself into beating your nerves or beating your lack of confidence, or, you know, it's like, Okay, I'm not feeling very confident at this because there's a lot of new coming in here, but I don't care, I can do it. But there's a danger of being tricked by what you may hear. So don't listen to gossip, don't eavesdrop, don't judge any opinions that you hear expressed. Because if you think about how your own opinion changes from day to day and week to week, so can everybody else's. So if you just catch them on a bad day, then of course you're going to hear something negative. And if you catch them on a good day, of course you're going to hear something overly optimistic. The one thing that you need to worry about here is your own dreams and discernment. Because that's, with all these swords here, we've got nearly a cross of swords. We've got a T-square, Knight, 5, 3, and let's call the Justice card. I mean, that is a sword card. It may be the Justice card, but in this deck, it's a sword card. Going to the King of Swords, but clarified here by the Ace of Wands. So there's that high level of thought, of intellectuality. There's certain amounts of pain, but that help you drive forward an idea that is supported. Because although this is the Ace of Wands, now you see that the staff in the Ace of Wands. What that first reminded me, I was watching this really mad video on YouTube last night about this guy that takes photographs, and he is constantly zooming in and out to try and catch manifestations of, as I see it, elemental spirits or divas or manifestations of the AI that controls the entire world. That was his thing. Or also another way he was saying Bigfoots that are phasing in and out of hyperspace and wandering through all of our that was how he framed it. And I'm not touching that one with the barge pole, but this really does look like, it reminded me of like the head of the staff being the head of an Easter Island statue, but imagine the Easter Island heads being a full body as well, and how it's tall and slim, and not because if it's that amount of stone and can walk, what, it's a bit like having a giant insect. You'd think it collapsed under its own weight, but it's not entirely here. It's not entirely in this dimension. It's here and somewhere else. It is showing that it is providing you with that surging force forward, Ace of Wands, but there is divine support here, or otherworldly support at least, of you coming into this sense of authority and coming into this sense of power. It may be inspired by somebody who is coming into your life and who may well be standing with you. Either way, their entrance into your life is significant. Whether they hang around or not, I don't know. I don't care. It's not relevant to this reading. Please see previous videos where I mentioned I don't do love readings. But there's it really doesn't matter. They have such an impression, such an impact that helps either inspire you or at least gives you the realization of, I can do that. Or they are supporting you in the fact that you can do that. It brings you to your own whatever it is that you are setting your mind to, which I believe is something that you will have already have decided upon back end of 2020. Because this Knight of Wands that we start the reading with, he's on a mission. He knows where he's going. He's absolutely surging ahead with speed, but he knows where he's going. He may well be burdened, and that's why he's going where he's going, but he knows where he's going. And I believe that you're going to get there. You're going to get there in a good way. Better place victory. Six of Swords, Six of Wands. And here, go through a lot of personal transformation, putting to rest a lot of personal demons along the way. But the other thing that this Three of Swords reminds me of is the idea of the chironic wound. accepting that a wound is part of you and it makes you stronger. So it's not exactly getting rid of something. It's you being in the realization of, yes, this is part of me and I'm all the better for it now. However hard the path was to get to that point. However hard. Three of Swords, it's normally quite hard and painful and lots of teary nights. But the very end of the reading is clarified by Six of Swords. You are coming to a better place at the end. So 2 Six of Swords here. You're coming to a better place at the end of the year than what you started it. But you started the year with a mission. You just really have to make sure that you do not get tricked along the way, and that there isn't something planted in your life just to try and throw you off balance. Be aware of your own personal authority and use it, and do not surrender to it, because if your king is coming into your life, you are meeting that king as a king yourself. The other thing that gives me all of this, and especially that divine support with your Easter Island statue being the Ace of Wands as it phases in and out of our reality, we've got card number 40 from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, the one that I always have trouble pronouncing. I can say it when I'm off camera, but Azazel with divine comfort. So if you think about that ornament, the prayer, used to always be in like green pottery. You've got that one, you've got that one. And I'm seeing sort of like that one, so the divine hands cupping around you and just not really even pushing you. Because with these Wheel of Fortune here and the victories in your way, you know where you're going. You've got that King of Wands energy going. You know exactly where you're going. But the hands are just around you. Just as a sort of, they're ready to push. And they're ready to protect. And they're ready to like push you along. But I don't think that you need it. But I do think that you do sort of energetically benefit from it. So certainly with that, the gods are watching you. So listen to them. This year especially, listen to them. However, be aware of everything that you're listening to with that Trojan horse. And don't necessarily listen to... With the gossip and the with Beelzebul and the gossip and the eavesdropping, yeah, listen to the gods. Don't listen to the people. Say you hear gossip, somebody has been slagging you off. Doesn't matter. Say you hear somebody slagging you off. Did you maybe catch them on a bad day? You know, there's and also, does their opinion really matter to what you're doing? No. Also, could they be someone that you prefer didn't like you anyway? Because sometimes having somebody not liking you can be a blessing, because it just keeps them out of your way. You know, there's so many... Be wary about what you're getting from people. Do, however, listen to what the world shows you. And by the world, I don't want to add any... not even songs on the radio type symbolism. Animal symbolism, trees, little events, those sort of things that make you go, ah, yeah, that's confirming. Or even little things that make you go, oh, that makes me think about this in a different light. But it's really those synchronicities of, you risk using your confirmation bias, but it is the little confirmation synchronicities that you need to follow, because, as I said, you already know where you're going. In fact, I think I might even call the reading this, but I'm not sure that'll get the hits, but hey ho. So there's not a lot more to say here, apart from you end up this year, if you take advantage of it, wonderfully transformed, wonderfully so. So That's really good, Cancer. And I'm actually quite chuffed with that because Cancer rising, I'm happy. So, assuming I've uploaded them already, go and watch your moon sign, go and watch your rising sign. Looks like I've just had my rising. I have to wait for my sun sign till the very end because I'm Pisces. But this always gives me a glimmer of hope, and this one is definitely giving me a glimmer of hope. So, I'm pleased with the reading. I hope you are. If it means anything to you, please do comment down below, because, like I say, it's nice to know that the readings have found their home. Also, if you like it, press the like button. If you like my work, press the like button, or even subscribe. And join the Facebook page as well, and then you can see when I post the videos, because YouTube notifications can be a bit hit and miss, and for that matter, so can Facebook. So, you know, sign up to both of them and you might actually learn if I've got a new video coming out. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Other than that, Happy New Year, folks. Looks like this is going to be a good year, and you'll be wandering into next Christmas in a far more... Oh, I even want to say a far more imperial and regal state than what you feel like you're starting this year. There is such a sense of growth here coming for you. I'm so happy for you. Okay, see you soon.